Hi guys, Becky here. Today I'm going to be doing a tour of my Arctic tent 1 year on. I've had this Arctic canvas tent for over a year and a lot of people have asked about it in my video, so I thought I would explain a little bit about it, what I use it for, and just a sort of review on the tent itself. So I bought this tent, not the December just gone, but the one before. And the reasoning for that was to spend a little bit more time outside and practice like long-term camping. I used to have a bell tent. If you've watched any of them videos, you'll know that I had that cream bell boutique tent. I used that a lot and I used it until it pretty much died. It started to leak and was completely covered in mould by the end. Just the weather had really got to it. It had been up for a year and it was just wrecked. In the end, I was literally waking up and bucketing the inside of the tent out because it would just fill up with water when it would rain. So I decided to make an upgrade and get an Arctic tent. These are an army issued tent. I think the more time that I've spent outdoors, the more time I've evolved as a person and my skill set. So I wanted to enhance on that by getting this tent, which allowed me to go outside a little bit more than I was doing already. I think I got this tent for 500 quid or less and it served me so well. It's been brilliant. And then once I was really sold on the tent, I went out and got the liner, which is this white that you can see inside. This is a separate thing and you literally attach it to the main tent. And then I guess I just evolved and I started getting little bits and bobs to put inside. It's just gone from there and it's turned into like my second home because it's somewhere that I can really come and spend a lot of time. When you feel like you need to just get away for a little bit, this is the perfect place. You could potentially live in one of these. It's very advisable because it keeps you out the elements. You can have a heat source in it. I've got my wood burner in here. You can literally fit a double and it's really livable. You can stand up in here, heat it up. It's somewhere to come in the summer to shelter. So I was going to put my little fairy lights on, but I just got in here to find that some rats have chewed the wire I just left me with the bit where you change the settings and the USB to plug it in. So I don't have my little fairy lights anymore. But that was a nice feature because it used to light this up really well in the winter. And even now, because it is quite a dark tent. That's the thing. But I need to get more of these now. It's the second set of lights I've got through because you get so many mice. And that's the only thing when you leave a tent up for a long time, permanently. Anyway, thanks so much for all the people asking about this tent. It's so nice, people showing an interest. So I will just do a quick tour. I know I really waffle on and my videos turn into hours when I start talking about something that I really like. You can go as elaborate as you want or you can go as basic as you can with these and what the layout and what you decide to put in them. I guess it really varies on how much time you spend in them, but because I don't live in it, I have just left it quite nice and quite minimal, and I quite like it minimal. I feel like when you have loads of stuff in here, it gets cluttered and it's more to look after and there's more to go wrong. And if I come back off of trips, there's more that's going to be damaged from rats and the mould. And anyway, over here, I have got a basic kitchen setup sort of going on. So I bought this gas stove, I think it was like 80 quid or something. It's a Van Gogh one. And it's a double hob burner with a little toaster bit. So I do like toast in there if I don't want to light a fire. And I think what I didn't want to get a gas stove for ages because I was like, oh, I want to keep it bushcrafty. I want to light a fire and just keep it really just bushcrafty, you know what I mean? I think it was a convenience thing of when it's absolutely tipping it down and you're literally just lighting a fire for a brew. I was thinking that it was so much more convenient to just light the gas burner, especially when you're staying at a piece of woodland for a long time. You realise how much wood you burn making fires. I think when you're staying out for more than a weekend, it's nice to have a bit more convenient and make it more homely Another thing that's really great is I can store a lot of my equipment. I've got so much bushcrafty stuff now, so having this tent to store it all in has been just a godsend. So here I've got all my cooking equipment, and then in these boxes I've got more cooking equipment, and then in this big box I've got literally all food. And I think this is another option of being like a good bug out place, because if the shit did hit the fan for a short while, I think this is definitely somewhere great to come. Long term, I'm not too sure because there isn't a nearby water source, but you could always collect rainwater, but there's always a way of getting by. I'd much rather be here than in a town or a city or something like that. One of the reasons there's a massive box of food. Two, if I ever just needed more food and didn't bring enough and wanted to stay a longer duration. All these things that come in handy, like a bush pot. I've got my coffee percolator, I've got pots and pans, I've just got everything that I'd need when I'm staying here, so I don't have to keep bringing bags of things each time I come up. I just need one bag. We've had permission to use this piece of woodland for about 2 or 3 years, which I'm so grateful for. It's given me the opportunity to do this and I'm really thankful. If I didn't have permission to use a piece of woodland, then it wouldn't really be possible to use this tent. I feel like you have to have either your own bit of land or permission to use a bit of private land. It is a big tent to set up just for a weekend, or a big tent if you wanted to go stealth camping. Right, at the back end of the tent I bought a cot bed. It is perfect. Just a simple cot bed that you can get. I think it's for a gatter. I was kindly given a mattress that goes on the top of the cot bed by one of my patrons, Jason, and it is so ideal. It's gone from a solid 7 to an 11. It's not broken on me yet, and I've used it for a year, I reckon. And what else I also like about it is I can store things underneath it. So I've got crates of things that are underneath it, like clothes, spare clothes and bits and bobs like that. And also it's really slim and narrow, so it doesn't take up much room in the tent, because I'm trying to utilise as much space in here, so having a little cot bed's been ideal. But for a while I was on a roll mat in the other bell tent. Obviously Thermarest and Lush, I loved it, but it was time to upgrade and actually have a proper bed and be off the floor. Over in this bit I try to have a little place to edit. Sometimes I used to come up here and I'd film a video and then edit it so it just get done, and it means I won't have to go home. So it allowed me to stay out for longer, which was so nice. And I want to thank these two devices so much for letting me do that and letting me be able to stay out so much longer. And that is the Jackery Explorer 500 power station and the SolarSaga 100 solar panel. And these two devices can really add to long-term camping and being off-grid and everything like that. For what I do and how much I need power and what I run, it did me so perfectly, and it lasted, I'd say, 2 weeks at one time. But I feel like that is rationing power. That's turning off the lights when I'm not using them. That's being really minimal using my phone. It used to charge my camera. It used to charge my laptop. But my laptop takes a lot to charge, so it did drain quite a bit of battery charging laptops. But having the solar panel obviously helps with that and charges it back up again. Especially in the summer, it's ideal. I guess I just want to say a huge thank you to Jackery for sending me out these lovely products over a year ago now, I think it is. And I've been using them since then. And a big congratulations, because they have put out their own website, which is so cool. And it came out on the 1st of March. And yeah, Jackery have officially got their own website launch, which is awesome. It also marks the anniversary, the 1-year anniversary of Jackery UK, which is so cool. And it's allowed me in the UK to have hold of Jackery products, as well as all you other English guys and gals out there. It's been great using this, And a lot of people do ask about the Jackery products and if I actually genuinely recommend them. And I do, and I think a lot of people do. They are so popular now online. I think nearly everyone is trying to get their hands on these products because they're just really portable power, aren't they? They're just really small and compact, and you can fit them in a small tent. They're convenient for a weekend away or a week away. They're good to put in your car. They're just brilliant. So it's fitted so many different people, from like car camping to van life to long-term camping to sort of an off-grid and just all that sort of good stuff. So this has definitely gone hand in hand what I've wanted to do up here and spend longer time outside, especially with what I do as a job doing YouTube. It's given me the opportunity to edit more videos and charge my camera equipment when I'm outside for longer. If you are interested, Jackery is doing a 10% off for the Jackery Solar Generator 500 and the 1000, the Jackery Explorer 500 and 1000, which is what I have, as well as the SolarSaga 100 solar panel, which is what you've just seen in the video also. You can get 10% off all of these items if you use the code GIRLOUTDOORS, which is valid until the 31st of March. The link will be in my description to Jackery's website. I was going to show my little lights plugged into it because they normally plug into the Jackery, but obviously the USB's been bitten off, so I can't do that anymore. But here's my little editing desk. I don't have my laptop with me, but I normally sit here. It's so lush. I can get up, put a coffee on, make a video, and then I can always come back in here and edit. And I've just got that beautiful view. I'm in such a nice location and there's no distractions here. There's no phone signal. There's no one around, so I can really just crack on. And then finally, my winnerwell wood burner. So I can literally say that all this stuff has been tested a lot and I've used it so much. And if I didn't rate something, it wouldn't be here now because there's no room for it, and I need stuff that's going to work for me, especially long term. I haven't spent as much time here as I wanted to this winter, just because I went up to Scotland for a month and I've been doing other bits and bobs. This has been absolutely amazing, this wood burner. From all the winter months, it's kept me warm. Even in the summer when it's chilly, it's keeping me warm. It dries my clothing and equipment out. It dries this tent out when it's really damp and wet and it's been raining for a long time. It cooks my food, it boils water, even just to sit round it. And the amount of stories that have been shared and conversations around this stove is just priceless. I've had stoves in the past that I've really been disappointed in and they just haven't performed well at all. And you've got to watch it with carbon monoxide poisoning when you're in a canvas tent with a stove. It's got the 2 mirrors on either side, which is so pretty because you can see the fire in there. So easy to ignite because it's got a good drawing system from the damper at the front and on the flue. Thank you, Smoking Gar, for this fan. Still got it. I think I've mainly covered everything I have inside this tent. I've obviously got little bits and bobs, but I thought I'd do my little tour of this tent and have a talk about it because a lot of people have asked. I think these are getting really popular and I do think people are starting to wake up and realise, yeah, it is definitely so much healthier and beneficial for you to spend more time outside. When I come here, I feel so recharged when I've spent a long time here because there's no outside stimulus, so I'm off my phone, I'm not watching anything. The only stimulus I have is like the fire or reading a book. I sleep so much better here. I probably get about 11 hours. But I hope you've enjoyed this video and maybe found it inspiring maybe to get some sort of similar setup and see the health benefits for yourself. It's easy hearing it and me telling you, yeah, it's really good for you and it makes you feel so much better. But until you've done it and felt it for yourself and feel your own personal benefits, that's how it can only sink in, I guess. It's been a year and I haven't fab sealed it once, and it still doesn't really look like it needs fab seal. A lot of the rain does run off, so it's been perfect for being water repellent. The only thing when I first got this, it had to waterproof itself, so the first few times I slept in it, a lot of water did come through because the stitching had to, I think it was tighten or start to seal, so it became water resistant. And then I had this tent while it was just all green, and it was so dark in here, and I was like, bloody hell, it's horrible at times because it just felt like a tomb. No matter how many lights I had on, it just never light up because it wasn't bouncing off anything. Getting the liner was completely changing, and it's so much more brighter. I know these tents are really hard to come by now, which is a shame because they're such quality, but I think they're discontinued and they don't make them anymore. That doesn't mean you cannot have a nice tent for long term. There's so many canvas tents out there and so many different brands. So thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you to all my patrons for making this possible. I will see you on the next one. Take care, and I will see you soon.